Yeah, I think excitement. You know what I mean? We know what we're trying to get to as a program, and I think we're going in the right direction, bringing you know what I mean, the right people in, and that starts up top with the coaching staff, and then from there, you know what I mean, bringing in the right players, and now that's what this time is for. You know what I mean? Building that identity, building that team chemistry to be able to work towards a goal. You know what I mean? But we know that's a long ways away, so we got to start now. We got to build that identity, and we got to put the work in.
How would you describe Dennis Allen's initial vision for this defense?
Yeah, I think it was very direct. Um, Understanding where we at as a football team, understanding, how we're gonna get there. You know what I mean? Obviously, the message is the message. Like we want to win now. And I think saying that and being blunt with it is what we needed to hear because that's our mindset going into it, especially the guys that's been here. Like we want to win, and we got the pieces to win. And I think knowing that the coaches understand that coming in, it's not like we're gonna take the back seat. It's like nah, like this is what we got. Now let's put the plan in action. So it's all about the work. You know what I mean? I can tell, just by his energy, his passion, the way he communicated his words. You know what I mean? The tone in which he communicated is all geared towards now. Like we want this to happen right now. You know what I mean? It don't have to. Like we're not waiting for anything. Like let's get this thing. Let's hit the ground running. And that's what the message is. And you know what I mean? That's what we received as players. And more than all, like that's what I receive as a player. And it brings excitement because I mean we all excited. You know what I mean? And not just that, but it's all about belief. You know what I mean? Belief that we can win now. Belief that we could be special right now.
What was your skill set fits this scheme?
Yeah, we haven't really got into a lot of the scheme stuff. Obviously, a lot of things just been happening. Yesterday was our first day, so as we begin to unfold this playbook, I'll be able to answer that question a little bit better.
What was Ben's message yesterday, and what did that look like? Was it him in front of the whole team? And how long did he talk? What did he say? All that
Yeah, it was him in front of the whole team. Like I said, some of those things that I just talked about, was his message. You know what I mean? Obviously, first day is kind of overwhelming a little bit. You got to go through logistics. You got to go through security stuff, medical stuff. Just it's a whole lot of stuff to try to get in a small period of time. But you know what I mean? More or less, it was just about mindset, mentality, and talking about what we need to do right now, starting day one as as an organization.
People have talked about his intensity.
Right.
Can you feel that?
Yeah, you can feel it. You can feel it, man. Just like I said, the confidence level. Like you said, being a first-time head coach, being able to address a room, that's important because you feel that as players. You feel that as, just everybody in the room. And, stepped up there with confidence. Guys was all ears, gave them the utmost respect. And that's what it's all about, you know what I mean? And you feel that as players. I felt that. And I'm like, okay, this got a real deal. Like, we got the same type mindset. So that's the thing that you get most excited about. Even walking out that room, it's like, okay, I feel the energy. Now let's put the work in as players now.
Tremaine, you've been on both sides with Buffalo and the Bears. You've been on both sides of the spectrum, winning and losing, and so you know what it looks like for a team to be in win now mode. Do you feel like that's legit here with the Bears, even having lost 10 in a row last year, that this is win now and you guys are capable of it?
Yeah, 100%. And that's what I just talked about, like his message. That's what we all thinking. Like it's definitely win now mode, and that's only mindset to have.
Why is this time, with the new head coach and getting that chemistry built, why is this time of the year so important for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's important. I mean, anytime you have new pieces, just new changes in the organization, like you have to be able to like fill each other out like at a slower pace, I would like to say, rather than just jump right into practice and all that type of stuff. It's like, nah, this is the time like you got to build your team chemistry. This is the time team bond and you know what I mean, the things off the field that people don't necessarily see from the outside. But those things are important and you know what I mean, it's equivalent to winning. And you got to be able to build that as a football team. You got to be able to go through the hard. You got to be able to go through the workouts and just like the time that we spend in the off season, that's gonna, excel us come training camp. That's gonna excel us come those tough times later on in the year. When we thinking back on these hard workouts we had, we thinking back on, where we started at as an organization. And like I said, it's about getting to know one another too. You know what I mean? It's a lot of new faces in here, not just players but coaches. Like each year in the league is different. You got to be able to, to understand where this person came from, this background, their background, and all of that stuff happens in the off season. So it's just about, you know what I mean, getting around one another, filling that energy out and really just building, you know what I mean? Because everything starts all over. It's life of the NFL, you know what I mean? Each year starts all over from ground zero. So it's about building that foundation and being able to have that foundation take us through, you know what I mean, the rest of the year.
I mean, what did you respect most about Ben as an opponent?
Yeah, honestly, just the mindset. I think, I mean, when you ask people about, let's just say Detroit, you know what I mean, and what he was able to do, just the mentality of, I would say what their offense wanted to do to opponents, it was put up a lot of points, you know what I mean, and I think you can feel that, like, you know, this guy he don't just want to win, but now we want to win by a lot, you know what I mean, we want to dominate, and you know what I mean, I think that's important, you know what I mean, that just talks about his mentality, it talks about his mindset, it's like, nah, like, we're gonna be the best that we're gonna be, we want to dominate, and we want our opponent to feel that for sure.
Tremaine, we've heard a lot about the off-field stuff and chemistry and accountability. How do you and the other leaders safeguard against those pitfalls this season? What have those conversations been like in the locker room?
Yeah, I think it starts like today, right now, like, you know, being here, you know what I mean, showing that example, and not just that, but we understand, you know what I mean, we went through a lot of stuff as an organization, as a football team, but none of that stuff is what we focus on right now. Obviously, you take that stuff, you learn from those experiences, but at the end of the day, it's about, you know, what we're gonna do this year, you know, as we come together as leaders, because that's what it is. Like, you know what I mean? The stuff they say, the new coaches and everything, yes, that's the head of the football team, but you know, the football team goes as far as, you know, obviously as a collective, but the players also has, you know, a big part in that. So as players, we got to come and say, no, this is the work that we're gonna put in, man. This is what the mindset, this is the mentality, and accept nothing less than that. You know what I mean? That's what it is. And like I said, man, we all on the same page with that, and it's we all fired up for sure.